Today is Monday, June the 13th, and it is 7 o'clock, and I'm calling to order the Beach Haven Borough regular meeting. We will start with the flag salute, and Mr. White will lead the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board in the entrance hall of the Beach Haven Municipal Building and mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, the Asbury Park Press, and the Press of Atlantic City. Mr. Caxton, Mr. Taylor,
Here.
Mr. Maskell, Mr. White,
Here.
Mayor Davis.
Here. All right, we have the manager's report. Rich.
Okay, Mayor. Begin with the Treasurer's Report for the month of May 2016. Current receipts in the current fund for the period May 1st to May 31st were $3,271,958.78. The cash balance in the current fund as of this period totaled $10,068,295.60. The cash balance in the water utility account as of May 31st, 2016 was $2,369,236.99, submitted by our treasurer, Sharon Moore. Moving on to department reports. Anybody that's been following our beach replenishment program, the beach fill portion is pretty much completed. I expect probably within the next course of this week that a lot of the piping will be removed from the beach. They were moving on to Holgate, so they did in fact complete the at least that portion of it before the season started. Basically, it took about 53 days for them to put up construct all of our dunes. And I don't know if anybody's been really down there to look at it. I went there the first time over the weekend with a friend, and you really have to stand from the water's edge and look up to fully appreciate the magnitude. I mean, just not only is it the dunes themselves, but just the sheer size of the beach itself and the distance. I was standing by the Fifth Street Pavilion, which 2 years ago I could look underneath the Fifth Street Pavilion and see water, and I don't know how far I am from the water from that point, so quite a bit of sand. However, they do still have the dune walkover portion to finish. There's a subcontractor, Agate, is doing that work. They're quite busy. We have 3 handicapped accessible areas currently under construction, that being 5th Street, Center Street, and Pearl. Those were our handicapped areas in the past. These locations will have 2 means of access. There's a normal access that would be pretty much like any other beach one, which would be the hard packed surface of the I-5 material, which would take you across. But then we're going to have a second area which would be a completely different grade. It pretty much winds around for wheelchair accessibility or anybody with any kind of particular issues in terms of walking. That's going to take a little longer to get there, but we'll certainly get everybody to the beach. And like I say, they're currently under construction. As I said before, all the entrances will have the hard pack I-5 substance, which I know there's been some questions about the color, but I know in terms of accessibility, in terms of anybody that's had to walk through the soft sand, post-sanding, this is a much easier surface to get over, even though I have to say that the distance going across the dunes, if you've been up to the top of the dunes are literally 30 feet across. It's really, I marvel at it. It's an amazing project. However, we do ask everybody to exercise a little patience. I have gotten a few calls over the last couple of days. When's my dual walkover going to get completed? Generally speaking, it's 2 to 3 weeks is about the lag time between the time that they complete the dune and they complete the walkover. So we're hoping that Agate within the next 3 weeks will complete the project, which would take us probably very close to July. The reason we're so much against the season is I mentioned that in a previous report, they were scheduled to start the project back at the beginning of April. However, weather conditions were not conducive to connecting the pipes. So we lost, I guess, probably 19 or 20 days there, which didn't seem all that important at the time, but now we're on the other end of that project, and we're looking at the beginning of the season, and we really do wish we had those 20 days, but we will be done, and we will be open for business for the season. Moving on to some other things, if anybody's curious about our municipal building project, which seems to have come to a halt. Reason being, we had gone out to bid on May the 12th. We had 4 bidders come forth, however, their bids were well above what we had budgeted, as well as what we had in terms of funding for the project. We did reject the 4 bids on the May 25th agenda meeting. We have since had several meetings with our architect, Mr. Ron Sebring, and his staff, and we're making some changes in terms of the scope and design of the building, in hopes that when we go out to bid again the first week in August, that first of all, we hope to attract more bidders than 4. We're rather disappointed we only received 4 bidders. We're also very hopeful that they're going to be much closer to what we're looking in terms of budget. So again, we're working very hard to keep this project within budget. However, that does put the completion date out a little further than we had originally anticipated. Right now, we're looking at probably occupying the building probably some time during the summer of 2017. So probably lost about 6 months there, but we're hopeful we will get the project going probably in the fall. And we'll see a lot of activity, and hopefully we'll have a beautiful building come the beginning of season 2017. That's all I have to see from there.
Thank you, Mr. Crane. And now we're on to the approval of the minutes. Has everybody read the minutes?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
I just have to read them up by
Oh,
title.
sorry.
Have an agenda meeting of May 4th, 2016, an executive session of May 4th, 2016, and a regular meeting of May 9th, 2016.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as
Thank you.
submitted.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. And to liquor license renewals.
Yes, Resolution 138, 2016, granting the 2016-2017 ABC license renewal for J.C. Beach Haven Tavern LLC, trading as Buckaloo's Tavern, Restaurant and Fish House.
Basically, at this point, is there anybody that would like to make a public discussion? We can have public comments on all these liquor license renewals. Is there any public comment relating to the Buckaloo's liquor license? In that case, I close the floor for public comments.
Make a motion to approve 138, 2016.
Is there a second?
I don't think we should second it because they're the only ones that showed up tonight.
Somebody
Not
cares.
second.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
Mr. Keeler.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
Resolution 142, 2016, granting the 2016-2017 ABC license renewal for Beach Haven Marlin and Tuna Club.
Would anybody like to comment on the liquor license for the Marlin and Tuna Club? Mike, go ahead. State your name and address.
Michael Peeler, Beach Haven. It's not really a comment on the Marlin Tuna Club, it's an overall comment on all of them. So can I wait till the end?
Sure.
Okay, and that Tuna Club, does that mean because they're getting a liquor license that open to the public?
No,
And why is that?
it's a special type of liquor license that allows them to serve alcohol there.
Okay, that's all right.
Their
I'm
members
not,
can
I'm
bring
not chasing
guests.
at the bit to go, but
Yeah,
I
okay,
was curious.
okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so, is there any more public comments on the Marlin and Tuna liquor license? In that case, I'll close the floor to public comments, and we'll have a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve 142, 2016.
Second.
Mr. Keeler.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
Resolution 143, 2016, granting the 2016-2017 ABC license renewal for Murphy Grant Supermarket Corp., trading as Murphy's Market.
Any public comments relating to the Murphy's liquor license or packaged goods store? In that case, I'll close the floor to public comments, and do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve 143, 2016.
Second.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Finally, Resolution 144, 2016, granting the 2016-2017 ABC license renewal for Lenhart Inc., trading as Don Ramos Liquor Store.
Are there any public comments relating to this? Mike, would you like to come up and speak at this time?
Yes, that would be fine. Okay, when are the license good till? From, like my license, from, May to May. When do these licenses expire, the renewal?
For a year.
June 30th.
June 30th, so they, okay.
So they, in order for them to continue business after the end of June, in July, we have to approve these licenses.
Okay, what is the reason that all the rest of the taverns and restaurants were eliminated?
That is going to be on the agenda meeting of June 22nd. The reason for that is that we are making some stipulations, some changes to the liquor license. So every establishment that was allowed to have a teen night, we want to give them time to look at the changes that we're making on that liquor license.
Do you think that's fair to these people? Because
which
teens,
people?
the people that have teen night.
Why?
Why? Because the teens don't decide, they don't come up to mom and dad and say, I'm going down to the Catch or wherever for teen night. They ask permission, and the parents either give them or not permission.
We're not eliminating it.
We're not
just
eliminating the
tightening
teen
the
night.
regulations.
We're not eliminating
Only
it.
10 allowed at each teen night?
No.
But we're in the past, Michael, when there was a teen night, they had a stipulation that all the liquor in the establishment, when teenagers were there, had to be covered. And they couldn't serve, during the time there was a teen night, they couldn't serve alcohol. We would like, and somewhere over the years, that
Has gotten lax.
disappeared.
Okay.
And I personally would like to see teenagers have a place to go, but we just don't want it to be associated with
Yeah, I agree.
alcohol.
I agree.
And because all the other establishments have the, within their liquor license renewal, the ability to have a teen night, we want to make sure that they all have time to think about this and see this and comment if they need to.
Okay, this has nothing to do with shutting down like
No.
clubs or festive activity that these young people and
No,
some
Not at all.
energetic old people want to do?
no.
Okay, great. And that meeting will be when?
The 22nd, we're putting it at 9:30 in the morning on Wednesday, the 22nd.
You doing that because you know I'll never be able to make it?
No, I'm sorry, Michael, I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm joking. What happens if, I would expect they will go along with this, so that we don't problem with them
I would
at
hope
a
so.
renewal.
I would hope so.
Okay, great, thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so are there anybody else like to come forward and talk to Don Rommel liquor license? Okay, then I close the floor for public comment, and do I have a motion to approve the liquor license of Rommel Liquor?
Motion to approve 144, 2016.
Second.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2016-13, amended and restated bond ordinance to amend the original purpose of the renovation of the police department headquarters to be used as the offices for the building department of the Borough of Beach Haven in the County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to reappropriate such funds and to authorize supplemental funding for the reconstruction of the municipal building, appropriating an aggregate of $1 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $952,000 aggregate principal amount of bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof. Final reading.
Since this is the final reading, it is open to public comment. Would anybody like to comment on this ordinance? Okay, in that case, I close the floor to public comment. Do I have a motion to approve this?
Your motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2016-14C, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 57, 4C, Protection of Beaches and Dunes of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to regulate the use of dune walkovers. First reading.
There is no public comment on this, but this really deals with businesses and condominiums, as well as a person that has oceanfront property that might want to have a dune walkover. There's a lot of restrictions. So this is the first reading, so do I have a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the municipal council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds, and any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Resolution 126, refund the beach badge fees. Resolution 127, returning park bond. Resolution 128, returning piling bonds. Resolution 130, approving an ABC Social Affairs permit application for Little Egg Harbor Yacht Club. Resolution 131, authorizing the submission of a raffle application for David's Dream and Believe Cancer Foundation. Resolution 132, approving application for fireworks display on July 4, 2016. Resolution 133, return of found money. Resolution 134, authorizing the award of a contract for various street repairs, 4th Street, 7th Street, and Taylor Avenue. Resolution 135, reappointing Sherry A. Mason as Borough Clerk for the Borough of Beach Haven. Resolution 136, reappointing Sherry A. Mason as Registrar of Vital Statistics for the Borough of Beach Haven. Resolution 147, returning remaining escrow. Resolution 148, canceling water charges. Resolution 149, renewing a contract with Delta Dental. Resolution 150, authorizing the sale of personal property owned by the Borough of Beach Haven, no longer needed for public use. Resolution 152, authorizing the return of street opening bond. Resolution 153, returning occupation of street bond. And finally, 154, authorizing a bond reduction for Land Use Board Application 2015-9.
Is there anybody that would like to take any of these off for individual discussion?
Good.
No? Okay, so therefore we can vote on these.
Make a motion to approve the resolutions as read.
Second?
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
I have a bill list this evening in the amount of $2,313,364.97. Has everybody read the bill?
Yes.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes. Okay, at this time, we have the public comment session. So if you'd like to speak to anything, would you please come up to the microphone, state your name and address.
I don't want to hog the microphone. I see on the property for sale, bikes, when is that?
July 1st?
Friday, July 1st at 11,
Okay.
here at the EOC.
Okay, I might be premature, but we have a no smoking ordinance now on the beach,
We
right?
do?
I only went to one entrance. I had planned to get here earlier and go to every single one. I did not see a sign.
We're just getting these entrances up and running. I mean, Public Works is working very hard to just get an entrance on the beach ends. We will eventually.
Well, there's 2 signs there already, just another one tacked to the pole.
They've been ordered, right, Jack?
We have the signs. Signs are
You
in,
have
it's
the
just
signs.
it's
Does
just a
that
matter of
include
waiting for the
electronic
walkovers to be
cigarettes?
placed. Pardon?
Does that include electronic cigarettes?
You can't put them in
Excuse me?
the, you can't put those in
But
the
you can
receptacle.
smoke. You can smoke it. So it doesn't include it.
I don't think the ordinance does. No.
The ordinance includes it, but the signs that you ordered, the signs do not include it?
Says no smoking.
So people should assume electronic cigarettes. Okay, well, I sent the council an email with a choice of many signs that said no smoking, including electronic cigarettes. Okay,
These were
and I
provided
also,
to us by the state.
excuse me?
These were provided to us by the state.
Excuse me?
The signs were provided by the state of New Jersey.
Oh, and no charge?
That's correct.
Okay. Are we gonna have trash bins also? Should I direct this to Jackie?
No, direct
Yeah,
it to
you
Jeff.
should be directing them to us, but Jackie has been working in the area of public works and the water department, so
Okay, are we
she
gonna
probably
have
knows more.
cigarette receptacles at each and every beach entrance?
No, I have no idea about that.
So if they see the sign, they'll just flick it on the ground.
That's not-
Okay.
Well, that's not up to Jackie, we have to decide if we're gonna, we haven't.
Well, you need to do it. I've sent you plenty of information. I doubt if you've looked at it, but we're talking about extremely polluting things that take place in the cigarettes. In the filters, which there are, I believe, in excess of 10 trillion a year to put on the ground on the earth. And this country alone, I think 1.2 trillion. Anyway,
We'll take that under council.
okay, well, we can talk about it later. I can get more information to educate yourself. If you're not educated, everybody thinks filters are biodegradable. They're not. Are we gonna have a workshop about the business district and renovating, saving, keeping it a district, or
We've
have
been
you
working on that, Michael, we did have a workshop here, I think.
Oh, yeah,
You were
that
there.
was just one,
We have an
Longer
intern
than
that's
this.
working with Sherry and Don Cactus, developing a plan to help enhance businesses. We are working on this, we're meeting with our COA attorneys and advisor.
are these people in retail? Do they have any conception of what retail is? Most people think retail is you go to the store, you go to the counter, you buy it. That's what they think it is. All you do is stand behind the counter and take your money. That's not retail. Retail's a whole different thing, and if you have people in retail, they'll be able to give you better information, so you could grasp the situation that's needed. But, you know,
I'm
we
sure
can,
this intern will be going around and interviewing people in retail. I mean, it's just got started, so.
and I doubt if anybody's gonna come to a town meeting, because most people won't close their shop to come to a meeting. I used to. Okay, I don't believe people, but maybe a flyer, all-encompassing flyer to each and every business so they can put their ideas, their thoughts, and maybe that will work, or help.
Maybe
It's a thought.
Kellyanne can put something in the sandpaper and get the businesses interested. We'd love to hear from business owners.
Well, they have their finger on it, everybody's different, I'm different than everybody else, and even though I'm not open now, I'm hoping, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, I'll get open. And I wanted to commend Tommy Meadow, am I saying his last name right?
That's correct.
Did you read the article and one of the papers about his comment on littering?
No, I
Okay.
haven't, I'm behind in my newspaper.
Okay, has anybody? Nobody. What do you guys do for entertainment? Okay,
Very
he commented that in his 17 years, he's not giving out one littering ticket. And it's very difficult as he sees it. And I expect so if you're driving. You don't want to be watching everybody that's driving. I thought perhaps, has there ever been a thought of foot patrol by our officers? But then again, in the summertime, we have the young men and women that are out there, correct?
Yes.
But most of them are just talking to each other and they're not watching. Because everybody litters all the time. All you gotta do is watch somebody. People smoking, 5 minutes, they're flicking it. And other things too, that I will talk about at another time. Little condiments people give out. I got a gallon jug full of little plastic wrappers that the egg gives to people. and they just take the 2 mints and wing the plastic. I've already got probably 30 already this year for the small amount of time I come down here. It's not the egg's fault. People aren't responsible and they're showing no respect by littering. So anyway, I'm big on that. Does the green team still exist?
Yes, it does, but it hasn't met lately. I know you emailed me about it, and I will
Okay.
make sure that the next time there's a meeting, you'll know about it.
That would be wonderful. And you'll schedule it for like 8 in the morning.
Probably.
Okay. I could see Don's not here. Has he made any progress on the LED lights for the street lights?
We're still looking at that situation and the cost benefit of it.
I didn't think that the cost benefit would even
Well,
be
it's
an issue.
$7,000 a pole to convert, something like that.
Okay. Will there or have you all considered having a workshop about what this small town and we can do as a small town to combat climate change?
No.
Don't you think we should?
Well,
You know, we can't rely on each and every person. You either if you wanna lead, you lead. If you wanna follow, we can just hang out and wait till somebody else does it and follow along. But I would rather set the trend opposed to following. You know?
if
it's-
you'd like to organize a workshop along that line, I'll
Well,
be glad to attend.
I think it would be, oh, me?
Yeah,
Oh, God, who cares?
well, I care, I mean, but not everybody believes in it, but let's keep moving along.
Okay, well, that's another bad issue there. Okay, I think just one more thing here. Have there been any plans or discussions on what to do with this building once the new municipal building is up?
Yes,
And,
well, it's sort of up in the air, Mike, and at this point, I really am not at liberty to discuss it. What would you like to see happen to this
I
building?
would like to see, you know, the LBI Foundation Center at the north end?
Yes,
I would like to see an LBI Foundation at the south end.
nice idea.
Yeah,
And we're talking about this, it's not as easy as it
Oh,
sounds.
no, of course, nothing's as easy.
But I just
as
talked with our congressman this week about it, so
And
maybe
which one
something
was
will
that?
happen.
that. And which one was that?
Lobionda.
Okay, I guess that's it for now. I'll give you guys a rest. I appreciate your patience.
Thank you, thanks
You're
for
welcome.
coming and making the effort.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
well, we have 2 people wanting to come forward.
Go
Go ahead, ladies
Ladies
first.
first.
Ladies first. That's the
Says
circle.
I'm a lady. Mary Ann Hogan, 502 Dock Road. I was here last month in regards to properties on Dock Road.
Mhm.
There's property alongside of me, it seems to be in question. I don't know if it's in bankruptcy, I don't know if it's being auctioned off. There's a house behind me, same situation. I don't know what the status of it is, other than if it's selling it or trying to sell it. I don't know if I want to come here anymore. I've asked for help and assistance, and this is what I have next to it.
Well, I understand the house next door to you is in foreclosure, and it looks like it's going to be foreclosed very soon, from what I understand.
I don't think I'll live long enough.
Well, I
My
agree.
house is infested with no sands. The weeds are taller than I am. I have weeds coming through the fence from the house behind me. I didn't move down here to live the nightmare. I could have stayed where I came from. Everybody was so excited about Dock Road when they thought something was gonna happen financially for the catch. And Mr. Burris was here, but things didn't work out. And I'm stuck with this. I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair to me. I don't know what else to do.
Well,
By the time they decide what's beneficial to them,
we do have a blight ordinance, and we ought to be able to get your grass cut
It's
down.
it's a problem. Jim Kelly went down to see it today. There was no answer to the dog.
he went
I
down
know
to
it's
say I
a-
wasn't home.
it's not much consolation to you, I understand. He went down, the Public Works was tried to do it, but there's half the department is out sick or workers' compensation, so there was nobody down there, is that correct? Still?
Well, no, I mean, Jim has been in touch with whatever bank has the property now. This Woodcraft no longer owns it. And he was told that within the next few days, they will have somebody there to cut the grass. Again, we can't just go onto somebody's property, we have to go through the procedures. And when a property is no longer in the hands of a person in town, it takes a lot more time. I personally sent an email, which got sent somewhere else. We've been working on that, and that's something that Jim wanted to go down and personally talk to you today. And unfortunately, you missed each other, but he did say we try to catch up with you. He also wanted to talk to you about the other 3 properties that have been in question and advise you of his progress.
Yeah, because there's no progress as far as I can see.
Well, again, and that's something, I mean, again, sometimes these things take a little time, and he does have a report that he wanted to get to you, and if you're in town this week, he will most definitely catch up with you and advise you of the progress.
I'm there all the time. I
Okay.
have to go to the
Yeah,
doctor.
all right. But again, I mean, this was assigned to Jim, and Jim's been working diligently on it.
Thank you.
Yes, it's your turn.
Don't worry, I won't make too much noise.
It's all right.
Oh, Bill Lockey, Kemper Avenue. Just a question. A-Gate finished some of the walkways going up to the beach with hardtack, okay? And they came short of what was there before. Is the town going to continue with the hard surface all the way to the blacktop?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Second of all, is whatever they pumped in Beach Haven, the color of the sand and the shells and everything, is that going to get covered with a different sand or not?
It would, I have to say, no, not
No, the answer-
purposely, but if you look, like, I'm on Second Street, already, because the wind and everything has blown, it's pure white sand on my beach, it's unbelievable. So it will go back to looking the way it did.
Okay, I'm going to hold you there.
You will, oh, yeah,
Is that Mother Nature?
I've been amazed, in fact, I had dinner with somebody who lives in Essex, and they kept saying, I can't believe how nice the sand is. Yeah, there's a couple shells in it, but it's white and nice and just like the sand before.
On Kemper, it's that orange.
I know, it'll get better, it takes a little longer to get that far south.
Okay.
One more
Sure.
time, Mike, okay.
Short and sweet. I brought my weed whacker down. We're gonna close soon. I'll come over and whack the weeds.
We just
I
got
got
told
the-
it's not my property.
It doesn't matter. It's your weeds that's bothering you. You just go and whack them down. Somebody's gonna say, oh, no, I want my weeds. I'll come over and I'll whack them. Okay? Gassed up, plenty of cord.
That's very nice of you.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy. And one quick question, the intercoastal waterway dredging, any word on that?
Well, they have done some dredging of the intercoastal waterway. The inlet is still up in the air. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen this year, which is very disappointing. We came that close to getting it happen, but the Fish and Wildlife nixed it, and because they said there was a type of endangered species that had to move through the inlet. It's
Okay.
very unfortunate. I was told by the Dan Martin, who's head of the Department of Environmental Protection, that this was going to happen, and it didn't.
Does
So,
that
but I think
roll
it eventually will happen.
That'll-
But I know they have done some dredging, because if they dredged part of the inland waterway, and they actually put some of the dredge material on Mordecai Island to create an area that was lost, and they planted it with different kinds of grasses, and
Great.
also doing a rig mussel experiment.
Great, that'll help calm our situation if that happens
Should
too.
make things better.
Yes, thanks.
Anybody else want to come forward and public comment? So nobody wants to speak, I will close the floor to public comments. And now we have final remarks by council. There's only 3 of us, so we won't talk too long.
All right, I just wanted to thank the council and VFW Post and the Community Arts Program for participating in the Memorial Day service. It was a deluge of rain, but we didn't cancel it because we thought the people that we were honoring did a lot more for us than worried about a little rain. So we all marched, got soaking wet, but still was very proud of what we did. And, Mickey Rooney here from the VFW Post, I also want to thank them for their participation as usual. And I'd like to say a couple of words of remembrance for the horrible massacre in Orlando. I think it's a huge tragedy, and it's a blight on our country, so that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. White. Mr. Peter?
And thank you, Jim. Another great parade, even in the rain, and great ceremony. Actually, I got great comments from being indoors. People really liked it. I mean, there was a little change at the end, so it was nice. And you guys in the VFW, especially sitting in the Jeep behind us, that took a lot. Riding in the rain, that was nice. But it turned out to be a wonderful ceremony. I thought that was nice.
Is that it? I really don't have much to say, although I do want to say one thing. One of the reasons the meeting's going to be in the morning on the 22nd, Deb Whitcraft she would like to deed her Maritime Museum to Stockton University, which is an exciting thing, so that the museum would go on after she's gone. And so a group from Stockton is coming down to look at the museum and see the feasibility of this, and they're coming that day. You remember, I was a professor at Stockton for 41 years, and I know a lot of the people that are coming to make the decision, and Deb asked me if I would join them, and that happens to be right at the time we have our agenda meeting. So I thought that this would be a great thing for the town, if we could have this museum going into the future. It's a wonderful museum, and I'm hoping that Stockton has a very good marine biology program, that they might get more involved in the work that we're doing right here on Reclaim the Bay, growing ridge mussels and oysters, and they're doing work with scallops, bay scallops, which used to be fairly plentiful here and you don't see much anymore. There's a lot going on that's very, very exciting in that respect. There's been a lot going on in this town. It's been very exciting. This past week we had the Corvette Show, we had the Wine Fest. Last weekend was we also had the Lighthouse Film Festival, which was was able to go to a couple of them, and they were great. And the weekend before we had the Hot Sauce, which was a big success. We have Shark Fest coming up this coming weekend, as well as the LBI Museum is having a derby night, so there's a lot going on in Beach Haven. And things are moving along. I also want to mention, because I've had a lot of emails and phone calls about the high dunes and getting onto the beach. I am in my 70s, and I find it's a lot easier to walk up these high dunes now that the sand is hard on that walkway than it was when the dune was little and I sunk into the sand. It's really easy for me. And so I think that it's not going to be as bad as a lot of people think. And when they get the split rail fence up, people will be able to hold on to that split rail fence, which will help people that are elderly and infirm to get onto the beach. What?
They get 2 benches they can sit on.
Yes, and there'll be benches at the top of the dune. Right now, everybody's spread out across the dune. It's really fun. I love to go down the window when I see them sitting there. And I think it's so cool because they have a great view. But that's going to end because we are going to get plantings on the dune, and they're going to have to sit it right at the top of the dune at each street end. But it is quite nice. So it isn't as bad as everybody thinks.
The lifeguard's gonna need oxygen bottles for those old people.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's gonna be some heavy breathing going over, trying to get to the water.
It's a long walk down to the water, right?
And there's a drop off now, by the way.
Is there?
Yes. Mother Nature made a drop off.
Well, that probably will happen in the future as well. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right, anybody? Yes, go ahead, Jim.
I'm sorry, I forgot. In tonight's resolutions, you've seen that we reappointed Sherry Mason as Borough Clerk and Registrar of Vital Statistics. I'd like to say, Sherry, that we're so pleased to have you and so very lucky to have somebody so dedicated to this community as you are, for all the aspects and all the work that you do for us. And one of the things I wanted to speak about over on the table here, if anybody's interested, Sherry has started a project a couple of years ago of getting all the vital statistics redone, and we're throwing out 300 years that they're going to be, I don't know how many years they're gonna be, but they're acid-proof, they're cleaned up of all the yellow mold and things like that. So just one book, if you'd like to just take a look at it, and one of the other things I'm amazed at is the handwriting of people from years ago. It's absolutely incredible. Every page, different registrars and different clerks. So it's our history, and it's going back to the early 1800s, some of them. There's another book of birth certificates, the same thing. I know people may not be interested in these things, but just to see that type of work is really very exhilarating, and knowing that our history will be preserved long after we're gone for hundreds of years. So again, thank you, Sherry, for everything you've done.
Maybe put your name up there, Sherry, come on, there's no name for you up there.
All right, so I guess do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.